Today's episode covers EV pricing moves in India, shifting tariff and safety pressures for Korean brands, a reset on Tesla's Robotaxi targets, performance comparisons between Lucid and Rivian, and BMW's hybrid range extender thinking. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, Hyundai and Kia are facing renewed attention around EV tariffs and safety requirements that could reshape how they sell electric vehicles in key markets. The conversation now centers on how tariff structures and differing safety standards across regions affect where components are sourced, where final assembly happens, and ultimately how competitive Hyundai and Kia can be against European and American rivals. For manufacturers that built global supply chains optimized for ICE platforms and early EVs, the current patchwork of duties and compliance rules is forcing a closer look at local production, regional sourcing, and even product portfolios to avoid costly tariff penalties. Beyond immediate compliance costs, the bigger strategic question for Hyundai and Kia is how they balance scale with adaptability. If tariffs push more production local, automakers face decisions about plant investment timing, capacity splits between hybrid and pure EV models, and the cost trade-offs of modular platforms. Safety rules add another layer. Meeting stricter crash test regimes or ADAS requirements in some markets can change vehicle architecture and add development time. For consumers, the result could be less uniformity in options and price across regions. And for the industry, it means carmakers will need to manage more complex commercial strategies to protect margins and keep new EV models competitive. Looking ahead, this situation will likely accelerate two trends. One, manufacturers will expand modular engineering to allow easier regional adaptations without full redesigns. Two, strategic alliances and local partnerships may increase as brands seek ways to share the financial burden of localized production and certification. Hyundai and Kia remain among the best positioned to scale EV volumes globally, but tariffs and safety regimes will be a test of how quickly they can translate scale into stable prices and consistent product offerings across multiple markets. Shifting to autonomous mobility, Tesla has reportedly dialed back its Robotaxi fleet ambitions, a move that speaks to both technical and commercial realities in the race for self-driving services. Expectations for autonomous ride networks have been high, with some visions promising fleets that operate at scale within a few years. A pullback in fleet targets suggests the path to fully driverless, commercially viable Robotaxi operations is proving more complex, costly, and regulatory intensive than previously outlined. That does not mean the work on autonomy pauses. Tesla will likely continue to refine software, collect driving data, and iterate hardware and safety approaches. But the reduced fleet goal signals a recalibration. More conservative timelines, more emphasis on incremental safety validation, and perhaps a focus on limited pilot programs in controlled geographies before wide deployment. For competitors and cities watching closely, this is also a reminder that autonomous services will emerge unevenly, with technical readiness, insurance frameworks, and public policy all shaping where and when large-scale robotaxi fleets appear. The potential market implications are significant. Investors and mobility operators may moderate near-term expectations for autonomous ride revenue, while safety and regulatory bodies get additional time to develop frameworks for real-world deployment. For vehicle makers pursuing shared mobility strategies, priorities may shift to hybrid models that combine teleoperation, human oversight, and constrained operational design domains to bridge the gap between current capabilities and the long-promised future of fully driverless urban transport. Now to vehicle performance testing. Recent track comparisons between the Lucid Gravity and the Rivian R1S are shining a light on how new luxury and adventure-oriented EVs stack up in real-world driving scenarios. Tests on a closed circuit focus on power delivery, chassis dynamics, braking behavior, and thermal management under sustained loads, areas where electric powertrains and battery systems reveal strengths and limits. Results from these evaluations help buyers and the industry understand how premium EV SUVs behave beyond range figures and cruise speeds. The broader takeaway is that performance is becoming a key battleground for premium EV makers, not just in straight-line acceleration, but in handling, on-track durability, and the ability to maintain power under repeated stress. For Lucid, known for its emphasis on efficiency and high output in sedans, translating that engineering into an SUV package requires careful weight management and suspension tuning. Rivian, coming from an adventure and off-road focus, has to reconcile robust construction with the finesse expected in on-road performance. These comparisons help brand teams fine-tune software, cooling systems, and torque distribution to meet buyer expectations in varied driving conditions. As customers evaluate luxury EV SUVs, they will weigh not only headline acceleration or towing numbers, but how vehicles feel during spirited driving, how they manage heat during towing or track runs, and how resilient battery and motor systems are under stress. That deeper understanding will shape purchasing decisions and inform how automakers position their vehicles, some as comfortable long-distance cruisers, others as rugged, performance-focused utilities. Turning to BMW, reports suggest the company is exploring extended-range electric vehicle, or EREV, configurations that pair an electric drivetrain with a compact combustion engine as a range extender on models such as the i7 and a future iX5. This approach offers a middle ground for customers who want the electric driving experience, but also desire the practical reassurance of an onboard fuel source for longer trips. An EREV can preserve the electric driving character while reducing range anxiety, where charging networks are still uneven. For BMW, the potential advantage is strategic flexibility. Integrating a small gasoline generator as a range extender can enable customers to adopt electrified drivetrains sooner, without waiting for a fully mature charging infrastructure. It also gives BMW room to reposition larger, luxury models where packaging and weight considerations make pure battery solutions more challenging. At the same time, the company has to balance emissions ambitions and regulatory commitments against the practical benefits of a hybridized architecture. If adopted more widely, EREVs could influence segment dynamics, particularly in premium large SUVs and limousines where buyers prioritize uninterrupted long-distance usability. The solution is not a long-term substitute for full electrification, but in the near term, it may be a pragmatic bridge, helping manufacturers sell more electrified vehicles while infrastructure and battery technology continue to evolve. If you find this reporting helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. Finally, we close with the most discussed story today: the possibility that the Tesla Model Y could be priced about a third lower in India as Tesla aims to capture a larger share of the local EV market. A pricing move of this scale would be aimed at making an established global model more attractive in a price-sensitive market where local competition and regulatory incentives shape buyer decisions. For Tesla, reducing sticker price in a market the size of India is a strategic effort to accelerate adoption and establish presence early in a high-potential geography. A lower-priced Model Y would have ripple effects across the market. Local competitors would face intense pressure to match value and features, while suppliers might see higher volumes if Tesla opts for greater regional content to hit aggressive price targets. For consumers, a more affordable premium EV could significantly expand the addressable market in urban centers and beyond, but success will depend on after-sales networks, charging infrastructure expansion, and how pricing translates into ownership costs over time. In sum, this development underlines how global automakers are tailoring pricing, production, and technology strategies to win in emerging EV markets. The move signals not just competitive pricing, but a broader bet on long-term growth in regions where affordability, localization, and charging support will determine who wins the next wave of EV customers. Thank you for joining Autonews Daily. See you tomorrow.